Hello, listener. My name is Eric and I am here to read to you the first and last pages of every book in my shelf.
I had been making the rounds of the sacrifice poles the day we heard my brother had escaped. I already knew something was going to happen, the factory told me. At the north end of the island, near the tumbled remains of the sleep, where the handle of the rusty winch still creaks in an easterly wind, I had two poles on the far face of the last dune. One of the poles held a rat head with two dragonflies, the other a seagull with two mice. I was just sticking one of the mouse heads back on when the birds went up into the evening air, caw-calling and screaming, wheeling over the path through the dunes where it went near their nests. I made sure that the head was secure, then clambered to the top of the dune to watch with my binoculars. Dix, the policeman from the town, was coming down the path on his bike, pedaling hard, his head down as the wheels sank partway into the sandy surface. He got off the bike at the bridge and left it propped against the suspension cables, then walked to the middle of the swaying bridge, where the gate is. I could see him press the button on the phone. He stood for a while, looking around about the quiet dunes and the settling birds. He didn't see me, because I was too well hidden. Then my father must have answered the buzzer in the house, because Dix stopped slightly and talked into the grill beside the button, and then pushed the gate open and walked over the bridge, onto the island and down the path towards the house. When he disappeared behind the dunes, I sat for a while, scratching my crotch as the wind played with my hair and the birds returned to their nests. I took my catapult from my belt, selected a half-inch steely, sighted carefully, then sent the big ball bearing arcing out over the river, the telephone poles, and the little suspension bridge to the mainland. The shot hit the "Keep Out, Private Property" sign with a thought I could just hear, and I smiled. It was a good omen. The factory hadn't been specific. It rarely is. But I had the feeling that whatever it was warning me about was important. And I also suspected it would be bad. But I had been wise enough to take the hint and check my pulse. And now I knew my aim was still good. Things were still with me. I decided not to go straight back to the house. Father didn't like me to be there when Dix came, and anyway, I still had a couple of pulls to check before the sun went down.
Well, it is always easier to succeed at death. Inside this greater machine, things are not quite so cut and dry, or cut and pickled, as they have appeared in my experience. Each of us, in our own personal factory, may believe we have stumbled down one corridor, and that our fate is sealed and certain. Dream or nightmare, humdrum or bizarre, good or bad. But a word, a glance, a sleep, anything can change that, alter it completely, and our marvel hall becomes a gutter, or our rat maze a golden path. Our destination is the same in the end, but our journey, part chosen, part determined, is different for us all, and changes even as we live and grow. I thought one door had sneaked shut behind me years ago. In fact, I was still crawling about the face. Now the door closes, and my journey begins. I look down at Eric again and smile, not to myself, in the breeze, while the waves break and the wind moves spray and grass, and a few birds call. I suppose I'll have to tell him what happened to me. Poor Eric came home to see his brother, only to find zap, pow, dams burst, bombs go off, wasps fry. Zzz, he's got a sister.
With that, we end today's session. I'll see you tomorrow. same time.